So I wanted to show you a game by Swidler against Joel Benjamin from this book, but I found a game by Emory Tate. And so that's again, I'm interested in these games that are between players that I know, compared to people that I don't know at all. This is game 54. Joel Benjamin is white, Emory Tate is black, and this was played in Philadelphia in 2000. Notice that at a certain point after move 14 there is a challenge. Okay, so let's start. So white is Benjamin, okay, e4, e6, d3. Okay, d3 means that he's not really playing the French defense. He probably wants to play the king's Indian attack. c5, knight f3, d5, queen e2, and when he plays queen e2 you already know that probably wants to play g3 and bishop g2 because he must develop that at a certain point, right? d takes c4, d takes c4, knight e7, and knight a3. Now honestly I don't know what we are doing, it's a little strange. And here the comment from Joel Benjamin. A reminder about flexible thinking in the opening. After the exchange of pawns there is no longer any reason to fianchetto. Okay, fianchetto means this. Why? Because obviously he opened the diagonal. And this is not usual, but it's possible in the King's Indian attack. So knight c6, because he also wants to open this, c3 to obviously prevent the knight from getting these two outposts, bishop e7, bishop f4, castle, queen c2, he wants obviously to open the diagonal, knight d7, bishop b5. And here there is a diagram which means one should think for black what are you going to do. So it seems that the correct move in this position was to play e5. Emory Tate, I don't know why, played a very aggressive move, g5. And here we have a comment. Black's opening play has been unconventional, but forthright play in the center can reduce these difficulties. And he says e5 is the move to play, okay? The late Emory Tate was a kind of a cult hero for his imaginative approach to chess. The brilliant victories came at the cost of occasional smackdowns. While creative and gutsy, this move flies in the face of principles. I could not believe that Black's more passive position could support the flinging of pawns in front of a king. So I resolved to take advantage of my superior mobility and meet my opponent's plan head on. First, I had to figure out what he was up to. Okay, it seems he wants to continue with f7, f5 and possibly f5, f4. To harass, trap my bishop. This plan is actually not so crazy if white replies timidly. Okay, so it's a real plan. And as you can see, the grandmaster, however, asks himself what my opponent wants to do, because up to a moment you don't know that, you don't answer that question, you have a problem. Okay, so here Benjamin continue with bishop e3. And then black continue with f5, e takes f5, e takes f5, and then e castle. Tac. A few moves earlier I was on the fence about where to castle, but the pawn advances have made it a clear choice, so obviously he doesn't want to castle under attack. f4, and now I think Benjamin plays a very interesting move. A very interesting move. He plays h4. This is a thing that we notice in Grandmaster games. They often don't react to an attack with a defensive move, but they react to an attack with a counter attack. So it seems kind of interesting, right? G takes h4, and here there is a challenge called the challenge 43, white to play and win. Okay, so please kind of pause the video and try to find a way to win. Okay, while you try to find a way to win, since there is the diagram in the right position, I would like to see, instead of G take h4, I would like to see F takes e3, right? Let's try to see this one. H takes g5, Rook f7, because there was a possible checkmate, and Bishop c4. Okay, and this is the end for black. If instead of F takes e3, black plays g4, so you see, you need to calculate the exchanges, the takes, but you need to calculate also possible pawn advances, right? So after g4 there is knight g5, bishop takes g5, h takes g5, queen e7, and once more bishop d3 with a final advantage for white, a decisive advantage for white. So now let's return back to the original position, and you will tell me if you found the right move for white to win, okay, after this G takes h4. Okay, so this is the right position, I think, I hope. You never know, because it's very easy to mistake a pawn or something. No, this is the right position. Okay, challenge 43, white to play and win. The correct move is bishop takes c5. Bishop takes c5. Rook takes h4. And queen e7. Under develop and pin, the black forces can defend the weak point on h7. Okay, and here it shows if he would have played, instead of queen e7, if he would have played rook f7, how the things would have gone, and he would have lost the queen. Okay, so it proves the point. But let's continue to see the game, how it went. Bishop c4, king h8, rook d h1, boom. Knight f6, knight g5, and now there is bishop e3 check. Characters like Tate would always make it interesting to the end. I didn't see why I can take this piece, though I certainly don't need to. King b1, h5, rook takes h5, knight takes h5, rook takes h5 check. Okay, king g7, queen h7, king f6, rook h6, and king e5. Obviously, please, what happens if he plays this? He gets checkmated by queen g6. Okay, so that's why king e5 is the only option. But now there is another checkmate, right? So can you see the checkmate? Try to continue to improve your visualization. It seems that knight f3 is enough to give checkmate. I think the knight mate is slightly more aesthetic than queen e4. So instead of this, that was also checkmate. Okay. And in fact, yes, we always like to give a checkmate with a different piece. So I hope you enjoyed this game from Joel Benjamin, Better Thinking, Better Chess, how a Grandmaster finds his moves. Again, I often find old books more interesting than the new one because they are cheaper and they give you the training you need. So I hope you will enjoy it.